Hello, hello. Let's get this party started. We're gonna start actually in a couple minutes. We're waiting for some folks to jump in. Uh, yeah, selling and innovation isn't enough to win. Oh my gosh, what a realization. A lot of people think that if you build it, they will come, but sadly they don't. Anyway, this is part of a masterclass series, and this one is called the Five Steps CEOs Take to Lead Their Category and Boost Sales Without Hiring a $400,000 a year chief marketing officer who would only last about 14 months anyway, according to stats that we see here. So as we're getting started, just type in the chat as you're coming in here, where you're coming in from, and we are gonna jump into this. What's going on, Jacqueline? What's going on, Bill and George? And Bill and George, and awesome. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. If you can see me here, type in the chat. This is live discussion, absolutely 100% live. There may be folks watching a replay, but you are here live with me. And this is a masterclass. We're about to get started. So in the chat, just over here, type in there like where you're coming in from, or just type in the number 1 to say that you're alive and well. We're going to get started in just a minute. Type in the chat where you're coming in from. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Denver. Bill is in the house. Awesome, beautiful people of the world. Really excited that you're here and I am here and we are here all together. We're going to bust a move here and really dive into some ideas and some shifts. I'm hoping you're going to get a huge shift or 5 of them out of this live discussion so that you can really make a dent in your marketing, boost your sales, and grow your business, lead your category without hiring a chief marketing officer full time. So we're going to get started in just 30 seconds. I just want to wait for some folks here to join. If you're here, please type in the chat. Just give me a 1 in the chat if you're here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me and see the guy here in the right-hand corner? Give me a 1. I hope I'm not experiencing some issues, but if you're here, please type a chat. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see my screen. What's going on, Jeremy? Give me a 1 if you can hear me and see me. And type in the chat as well where you're coming in from. Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Craig. If you're here, well, awesome. We're going to get started right now, but just type in the chat just to make sure this is working. Give me a 1. Just type a 1 in the chat so I could see your comments. How about this? Somebody type in 5 in the chat. If you typed in a 1 in the chat and I'm not seeing it. Oh, Jeremy, I see your 1. But type in a 1. Give me a 1 if you can hear me and see me. Come on, folks. I need feedback in order to do this. I can't do this talking to the wall. So Bill, I got a 5 from you. I'm not sure what that means. But Bill, could you hear me and see me? Give me a 1 in the chat if you can. Okay, I'm waving my hands. I just want to make sure we are good to go. If you can hear me, what's going on, Daryl? You said type 5 if this is a second shout. Okay, it's really confusing, I know, but let's get started here. Welcome, everybody. We are here live, and I want to make sure you get a ton of value from this discussion. If you can see my screen, you're coming in now. 5 steps CEOs take to lead their category and boost sales without hiring a $400,000 chief marketing officer who is going to get fired in 14 months anyway and isn't going to really help you sell. So sales positioning and marketing masterclass for CEOs. Hello, Flavio. Welcome. Type in the chat. Give me a 1 if you hear me. You can hear me and see me. Also, type in the chat. What business are you in and where are you coming in from? Type that in the chat. I need your participation here, or else I'm gonna like die. I get depressed, I get sad if I'm talking to the wall. I hate talking to the wall. I need to talk to you. I need to know that you're here and I'm here and we are all here together to talk about this because this is a breakthrough discussion. You are going to leave here with some shifts that are going to totally take you and your business to the next level. I'm really excited about sharing this with you. So type in the chat where you're coming in from. Hello, Bill, commercial real estate technology, wonderful. Jeremy, IT managed services, wonderful. Daryl, Northern Utah, we do the most comprehensive DNA health related tests, Order Direct. Okay, says who? Okay, I don't mean to be fresh, but I am from New York. But here it is. The big idea for today. You may think you have a sales and marketing problem bringing your IT managed services, your commercial real estate technology to the market, but you don't have a sales and marketing problem. You likely have a positioning problem. This is the big idea today. So we're going to jump into the 5 steps CEOs take to lead their category and boost sales without hiring a 400K CMO that is going to get fired in 14 months anyway. Also, many folks are here to see, does your website pass the mother test? But here are the ground rules. I only have one ground rule here, is that this is not for spectators. If you're here with my time and your time, let us get involved. So success loves speed and action, so I need you to act. I've had the privilege of working with unicorn companies and their CEOs that have applied these 5 shifts and are crushing it in B2B right now. And I'm super excited to share this with you. It's also the stuff I'm sharing today will be in a book called Magnetic Messaging, How to Grow Sales and Lead Your Category in a Market That's Flooded with Solutions. And solutions that are maybe flooded that aren't even like yours, but your customers are confusing your solution with theirs. Anyway, we're going to jump into this. Jacqueline, IT language development tool and vertical market applications. Very, very cool. All right, let's jump into this. But why is this so hard? So if you're hiring a marketer, marketers aren't really paid to take an opposing view. They're paid to make your product sound awesome. And that's really hard because you're kind of stuck paying marketers that just are blowing sunshine everywhere, up in all sorts of dark places. So you get stuck in decision loops, blind spots you can't see anymore. If you've been looking at your website for 6 months and it hasn't changed, I guarantee you cannot even see your website anymore. Not using proven positioning frameworks, solution leaders forget why alternatives are ruling. And they are ruling because your prospects are buying those now in more abundance and they're buying your solution. Hello, Lorena. Hello, Raza. Type in the chat. Give me a 1 if you can hear me and see my screen. A lot of this is hard because you're kind of stuck on inside baseball lingo. Wasting money on marketing does nothing for sales. So it's hard. Give me a number in the chat. A 1 if you have a CMO in your corner now, a 2 if you hire marketers, or 3 if you go it alone. Here, type in the chat here. Give me a 1, 2, or 3. Bill goes it alone. Raza, Raza, hire marketers. I got 2s and 3s here. Daryl, 2 and 3. Absolutely. All right, so the stakes are high here. If you don't get this right, I'm just really serious now for a second. I take your business totally seriously. And I know a lot of businesses are failing. The market is shifting. There's a steep decline in win rates. Marketing is a money pit. There's a lot of stakes here. And I know you're here. You're spending your time with me to see what you can get out of this session. And my promise to you is massive. It's not just going to be about rebranding your website that's doing nothing for sales. It's really going to be about enabling sales, sales enablement. So I like to say your marketing person can't save you here because it's not a marketing problem. It's a positioning problem we're going to be talking about. And the best salesperson won't save you because if they're not armed with the right homepage and the right positioning conversations to have, then no matter how great they are, their prospects are going to show up totally confused, and they're going to spend their time and their customers' time trying to figure out if it's a fit. ChatGPT may help you, by the way, but it won't save you if you can't train up ChatGPT with the right positioning. So who am I? I'm the CEO of PitchKitchen. I help CEOs lead their categories and fix their bad websites that do nothing for their innovation. I help turn their sales presentations into buying conversations and ineffective marketing into what I call sales enablement without hiring a CMO. So this is done on a fractional basis or my agency services, just so you know who I am. I have sold at least $50 million in enterprise software. So I understand the committee sale and the very long sales cycle and selling very esoteric products and services. I have built in the agency about 3,000 sales presentations and pitch decks. And I did that after really working as a salesperson. I was working for a company, and the sales decks I got from marketing were terrible. They were like full of how great we are with logos everywhere. And it failed me, it failed my ability to have the right conversation. So I started out a side hustle, designing slides that allowed me and my team to have better conversations. And boom, selling like unbelievable, crushing it. Decided to apply this formula as a side hustle for other companies, and that's when I started PitchKitchen. Anyway, enough about me. Type in the chat here, who is your ideal customer? Because I want you to keep in mind who your ideal customer is during this masterclass, because these are the people that you love, you're serving, you get up every morning, taking care of, making sure that your innovation is helping them be successful. So type in the chat here, who is your ideal customer? If you don't know, that's scary, but please type it in the chat. How well you understand your customer is the biggest competitive advantage you have. So type in the chat. A 10-person law firm, love that clarity. Type in the chat here, folks. Come on, Craig, Daryl, Jeremy, Lorena, Bill, Jacqueline, type in the chat. Who is your ideal customer? Bill, CEO or CFO of a CRE portfolio operator. Wonderful. Law enforcement agencies. Love that clarity. Okay, great. So keep your arm around these people during this masterclass. So speaking of keeping arm around people, who is this for? I have my arm around you if this is you. If this is not you, you can bow out and do something else. But if this is you, this is for CEOs who are bringing in innovation to their customers, CEOs who are committed to their vision, CEOs of early stage or growth stage companies who are stuck between 2 and 50 million, stuck to getting to the next level, CEOs whose success depends on getting prospects to change what they're doing, CEOs who are able to invest time and money into their business. If this is not you, you don't have to be here for this masterclass. And this is the opposite here. CEOs who can't and won't invest, CEOs who don't have a viable solution in the first place, or CEOs of maybe $100 million companies who already have a CMO who they love in their corner. And many of you said 2 and 3, and you're not having those people here. So listen, this is for you. And if that's you, this is my promise to you. In the next 45 minutes, we're going to crush this. We're going to talk about how to nail your sales message and give you the exact recipe to do this. Even if your solution is sophisticated, complex, needs to be demoed, and your prospects don't even know that they need it in the first place. We're going to talk about how to turn your sales presentations into buying conversations, why it's really game over for traditional marketing strategies and marketing approaches that a lot of CMOs use and fail at. That's why they get fired in 14 months later. How to close more deals, even in a recession or cash-strapped market, and how to attract and close customers without adding headcount or a CMO. That's my promise to you. Another huge promise. Oh my God, you guys, if you stay to the end of this masterclass, and only the people here live will get this, you're going to get a free PDF download. You'll download right in the session of the magnetic messaging framework handout at the end of this webinar. And it is a framework that the top 100 B2B websites are using, the different sections and the different positioning pieces that you need to nail in order to convert people in a much bigger way than you are today. All right, let's just look here. Chris in the chat, Chief Data Officer at large enterprise companies. Love that clarity. Thank you, Chris. Jeremy, 2,100 employee professional services firm. I love you guys, beautiful people. Thank you for being here. I promise you, you're going to get awesome value and breakthroughs in the session. I value your time as I'm sure you value mine. But first, is this you? First of all, give me a 1 in the chat here if you're still here and you're with me. I need to know that you're here. Chris, Daryl, Jeremy. All right. Bill, Jacqueline. So is this you, where you've got an amazing solution, but prospects don't really understand or how they'll use it? You've got prospects comparing your solution to solutions that are nothing like yours. If that's you, you're in the right place. Or if you and your sales reps are working so hard explaining what your product is and why anyone should care, instead of your customers showing up predisposed to like, oh, I want this, how do we buy? If you're thinking to yourself, yeah, it should be a no-brainer solution, but it is a brainer. And if they only knew the power of what you're offering, it would be a no-brainer. But for some reason, it is a brainer. You're in the right place. So just give me a 1 in the chat if this is resonating. If you have a marketer spending a lot on marketing, but it's not converting to sales, give me a 1 in the chat. If you're doing a shit ton of demos, not resulting in sales, you're in the right place. If you've read all these amazing books, and soon you'll read mine as well, from Seth Godin, This is Marketing or Building a Story Brand, Donald Miller, Gap Selling, Obviously Awesome, April Dumford, great books. Oh my gosh. But if you look at your homepage right now, you already know the formula, but you haven't made it real on your homepage. It's because you have not, we're going to get to it. You have not made these shifts. All right. So sales rep number 1, is this you where you've got people saying different things on your team? Maybe we're the best or we're the only. Really scary version, afraid to invest in more salespeople or more marketing, which by the way, is smart of you not to invest in marketing if you don't nail your story, your positioning. All right. If you're spending money on a graphic scale, a website guy, a social media person, PPC, but you seem to be missing a single compelling narrative that calls to your ideal customers to take the action that they need to take, you are in the right place. So give me a 1 in the chat if this is connecting with you, if this is your world. If you're sending out presentations, maybe with a white background and page numbers that look more like math textbooks and not hearing anything back, then this is for you, these 5 shifts. If you look at your homepage and it's losing language like this, software platform drives transparent, data-driven, blah, blah, blah bullshit that nobody really understands. And nobody, like, here's another one, creating innovative workflow technologies that drive high reliability. Now, look, I know ReadyWorks thinks they're selling an innovation, but do you believe what they're selling here is an innovation? Type in the number 2 in the chat if you believe this from reading this on this website. Give me a number 2 in the chat if this is, you read this and you believe it. A 3. Yeah, a 0. Yeah, I should have said give me a 0. Yeah, give me a 0 in the chat. Forget the 2 if you believe what's on this site. So look, if this is you, if you're using language like this on your homepage or in your proposals or in your emails, like user-friendly, making your own personal judgments about how awesome your innovation is, making data-driven decisions, best in class, unleash the power of, this kind of language doesn't work. And if you're using this language, you're in the right place. If you're hearing, I like what you're saying, oh my gosh, this sounds great, what I'm hearing you tell me, but I didn't get, or we didn't get that at all from your website, then you're in the right place. If shoving more data at them, your prospects, isn't helping you convert, sending them ROI, competitive advantages and ROI calculators and full feature demos and watch this video, and shoving more stuff at them is not helping them convert, then by golly, you are in the right place today for this masterclass. All right, so how can our message be simple? You're probably thinking to yourself like that. Your pipeline is going up, maybe, and your closed deals is plateauing. You're in the right place. If you're losing to status quo, you're in the right place. All right, take a breath. I'm taking a breath here. There's good news here. First of all, give me a 0 in the chat if you resonated with any of those realities for you. Give me a 0 in the chat. All right, Bill, Daryl, Chris, absolutely. So there's good news here. Bill, Daryl, Lorena, Jeremy, Chris, Jacqueline. The good news is those are symptoms. The symptoms of a disease, a thing that can be resolved. The real problem is that you have not made these 5 shifts. And we're going to jump into them right now. But once you do, you're going to see and have complete confidence in the money you spend on marketing. You're going to be able to lead your category and accelerate qualification, close deals in your pipeline. Your leadership team, the people you rely on your team to sell and to lead the company, from your CFO to your CTO, to your chief sales officer, to your CRO, and all the people you rely on. Everyone is going to be aligned, rowing in the right direction. Your presentations that your team makes are going to be unforgettable, breakthrough conversations that open minds and close deals, as I like to say. And people are going to be showing up predisposed to buy. All right, I know that's a huge promise, but that is what will happen. So if you guys are excited to get into the 5 shifts and are here, give me a 999 in the chat. 99999. Come on, do it for me. I need this feedback or I'll get sad and depressed. This is like the virtual post-COVID world. We're not in a room together. We're in a virtual room. I need to get that feedback. So thank you, Raza, Daryl, Lorena, Jeremy, Bill, Jacqueline. Awesome, awesome. The first shift that you need to make is to lead an uprising, to lead a rebellion. Oh my gosh, what am I talking about? So what does your innovation challenge? What does you guys are selling an innovation, right? Give me a 1 in the chat if you're selling an innovation. So do you know what your innovation requires? What does your innovation require? So the reality is if you sell solutions, you are the enemy of the status quo. Aren't you the enemy? So you might as well accept that mantle and frickin' rebel against the status quo. But how do you rebel against the status quo? Do you do it the old way, which is as an arrogant expert making claims about how great your solution is and why your solution is the best solution? Or do you do it the new way, which is as the voice of a rebel leader like Obi-Wan, where you're encouraging change? So instead of the old way where you're saying, we're the best and here's why, and here's the facts that you should believe me telling you, the new way is telling the story about how the old way is dead. And winners are taking this new approach and it's game over for the rest. This is the new way to position your rebellion against the status quo. So think about the innovation that you're selling. Let's go back up there. So we talked about, selling to law enforcement agencies, and Craig, infrastructure manager, is selling to Jeremy, employee professional services firm, Chris, chief data officer, large enterprise companies. Type in the chat right now, what are you rebelling against? What are you rebelling against? What change does your innovation require your customers to make in order for them to be successful? So this is the first shift, because if you can get clear on this shift, it will come through on your homepage in the voice of everything you're writing, from your proposals to your emails to your homepage to your social media to your LinkedIn to your Facebook to your TikTok. Everything is going to be around this key idea of what you're rebelling against. Welcome, Allison. Jump into this if you can. What are you rebelling against if you're selling an innovation? So first of all, in the chat, give me a 1 if you're selling an innovation. And then next to that 1, say, what does that innovation challenge? What status quo aspect of your industry does it challenge? Bill, own your tech. Don't give it to revenue stream away. What does it challenge? So I'm not really clear on what your innovation, what change your innovation requires from that. So, you need to have, what is your contrarian ideology? What's your, like Steve Jobs had this, like every great CEO like yourself has a contrarian ideology. If you don't know what this is, this needs to be pinned down. In order to stand out, we have to know what we stand for. Trusting popular DNA tests, that's scary wrong. Okay, so what are you rebelling against, Daryl? It sounds like the old DNA tests. Allison, measuring consumer sentiment by self-reported measures. Stop using surveys. Start using neuroscience. First of all, love that, because you're rebelling against surveys. Love that. So, Allison, teed up for you. Basically, stop what is, will everybody here, if you're a CEO selling an innovation, you need to be clear on what you're asking your folks to stop doing. Stop it. Stop. What are you asking them to stop doing? And what are you asking them to start doing? And it's not start buying my product. It's start achieving the results that my product offers. So that's the start. All right, if this is beginning to make sense, type in the chat, makes sense. Makes sense. This is the first thing you need to do. A leader development makes sense. Give me a makes sense if this makes sense. Daryl, makes sense. Allison, makes sense. So just think of some of these hashtags from companies and organizations and social movements and politics. What do all these have in common? Come on, look at these. Make America great again. Whether you love or hate Donald Trump doesn't matter. You can recognize good marketing when you see it. What does hit your number? Trust your source. Just do it. Own your tomorrow from Charles Schwab. Find your beach from it's a beer company. What do all these have in common? See if you can detect what they all have in common. It has to do with leading a rebellion, but what do they have in common? What is the thread here? Verbs, action. Yes, love that, Allison. Oh my gosh, Allison is getting gold stars today. Absolutely. All right. What else do they have in common? Come on, guys. What else? So it's important you participate here in this masterclass because the more you participate is the more you're going to be able to apply this to your business and be successful. This is your time and my time together. Raza, new. I'm not sure what that means. Memorable. Well, maybe, maybe not. But why is it memorable? Come on, Daryl. Why is these memorable? Come on, come on. All right. Hits a nerve. Well, they all paint a positive picture of the future. They all point to the destination that their tribe of customers or people want to go. Trust your source, by the way, is from the Wall Street Journal. And of course, that's what their customers are, us who buy the Wall Street Journal, want to believe. All right. So, what is your battle cry? Do you know? Type it in the chat in 3 or 4 words. What is your hashtag? All right. Is it calling your people to the promised land? Or is it just telling people to buy your shit? And excuse my French, but I'm from New York. Measure what matters. Know your story, change your life. I don't understand what that. Zero your AOR. Oh, I like that. Zero your AOR. So battle cry is typically calling people to the place that they need to go to be successful, to which your product confers advantage. I love this from Zoom Info. We all know what Zoom Info sells, data, but it's not their 3-word rebellion. From, by the way, great book from Dr. Michelle Mazur. Definitely read it. 3-word rebellion. Their 3-word rebellion is encouraging their people to hit their number because of the stuff that they're selling. All right. So let's look at just some science stuff right now. Like you're selling to people right now who are on both sides of this curve, and sometimes right up in the middle of this curve, where on the left side, people who the risk of changing is too great and they don't want to do it. And then the people on the right, the risk of doing nothing is too great and they don't want to just keep doing the same thing that they're doing. So you need to basically recognize you're the enemy of those people over there, and focus on your sales efforts in your positioning. So bad news, if you don't do this positioning stuff right, if you don't recognize that positioning is your business strategy, it is essential to your business, then you're just not going to make it. And I even saw a statistic. Most SaaS companies fail by year 3. Real quick, Jeff Aronson, president and CEO of EquipX, before he made this shift, along with the 4 others, had confusing marketing content. Pipeline was like razor thin, letting key partners and investors down, losing deals to no decision. This was their website before, and like pretty picture, but what are they selling? God knows what. After 3x their revenue, 6x their pipeline in 4 months after squaring away this positioning. Partners can sell easily. They're actually partners with Siemens, and so grateful that the business vision is materializing. So this fundamental shift of leading an uprising, leading a rebellion is essential to the voice of everything that you're writing, from your proposals to your homepage. All right, to your social media, to your hashtags. In the chat, if this makes sense, give me a makes sense. All right, makes sense. Come on, folks. I need this feedback. Awesome. Daryl, Allison, Raza. Okay. Allison, Jacqueline, Raza, George, Flavio, Daryl, Craig. Come on, give me a make sense if we are good. So success loves speed and action. As the leader here of your company, you need to make these shifts, and I'm encouraging you to do that, or else bad things. Number 2, start with the problem. What are we talking about here? Start with the problem. why not start with your solution? I mean, your solution is awesome, right? So here's one picture for you. Oh my gosh. Why not start with your solution in a sea of solutions? Come on, give me in the chat. Type in the chat. Why not start with your solution? You probably know the answer to this. If this looks anything like your world, where you're selling your customers have options, maybe they're not direct competitors, but they're tangent competitors. Yeah, Allison, people don't know they need it. So starting with solution doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't work. Yet so many companies, you aren't just that different. So many companies try to start with how awesome their solution is with their tone and their message and their copywriting, and everything they're designing is all about the product. You're talking about the product too much. It's all freaking noise. It's noise. And again, I'm from New York. I need your permission to curse. Hope that's okay. I don't want to offend anybody, but I curse. I'm from New York, with a high school in New York, by the way, and college in New York City. So here's the problem with solution marketing and why it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't answer these questions. Why should I change? Why should I change right now? And why should I change with you? And that's why it doesn't work. And Jeffrey Moore's book, Crossing the Chasm, absolutely nails it. You will not cross the chasm if you're selling only to people who are on the left side of this curve. You need to educate, influence the people on the top of the curve, and encourage those folks who are already thinking that the risk of doing nothing is too great to make that change. Those are the people who you're selling to. All right. So type in the comments here, what's the number one problem your solution solves? Trick question. Warning. Red alert, red alert, red alert. Trick question. Type in the chat. What's the number one problem your solution solves? We're talking about starting with the problem. If you can't do this, you haven't really made this shift yet. You got to get laser focused on this. All right. Type in the chat. What is the number one problem your solution solves? Come on, guys. Let's make this an unforgettable masterclass where you're making some shifts here and it's translating into dollars for your business. You don't know how to make your experiences better. Revenue leakage. Raza, love that. So clear. Lack of operational transparency. Fantastic. Gives you a reliable guide to manage your health. All right, Daryl, so sorry. That isn't a problem. Let's everybody give Daryl a pat on the back. He's got to come back with another one. Gives you a reliable guide to manage your health is a feature, a benefit of a feature. So type in the chat. This is tough to do. A lot of CEOs are so excited about the innovation they're bringing to the market. They almost forget why they created their business in the first place. It's to solve a huge problem, make people's lives so much easier. But what is that problem that initiated that spawned the whole business? Get really clear on that. And that's part of this shift that we need to be making. And it can't just be about shoving facts in people's faces, because facts do not change people's minds. There are people that believe that the earth is flat. You may be one of them. I don't know. But look, facts don't do it. And I look at a lot of websites and I actually have to use ChatGPT to figure out what that company does, because I can't figure it out, because it's talking all about their solution in baseball, inside baseball talk. And if I have a confused mind, if I'm confused about what you're selling, I guarantee you $1,000, your prospects, or whatever dollar amount you want, your prospects are confused as well. And a confused mind says, no, I'm out. It's not clear. So nobody cares about your why. And this is, again, me from New York talking. Nobody cares about your company, your product, your solution. I know that's shocking, but what do your customers really care about? Type it in the chat here. What does your customers really care about? Yeah, I see that, Daryl. Thank you. People are suffering and dying from bad or missing health information. Love that, Daryl. Thanks. 5 stars for Daryl. Absolutely. Awesome. Yes, Craig, they care about their problem. That's what they care about: avoiding pain, ease of use. They want to have things done easy for them. They want to deeply connect to their customers through experiences and content. Yes, they want to eliminate the need to redevelop customized software every time a language platform gets dropped. Yes, that's what they care about. So they don't care about your solution. That's why you can't start with a solution here. Demoing your solution doesn't convince anyone of anything. If you don't believe me, just check Gartner. It really is about people coming to their own conclusions through conversations. So people believe in the things that they themselves decide, not the things that you tell them. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've recognized this in your own sales and own business. Give me a 1 in the chat. People believe in the things they themselves decide. You can't just tell people your solution is innovation or seamless or easy or there's a big value to it, because people don't believe what you tell them. They believe in what they decide. All right. So how do you position your messaging such? By starting with the problem. So here's the gold star for you guys, for Daryl, for Allison, for Bill, Flavio, Craig, Jacqueline. If you can describe their problem better than they can, they'll automatically believe you have the best solution. That's without your logos, without even talking about your solution. If you can describe their problem better than they can. This is such a huge, oh my gosh, I'm like shaking. This is so powerful if you can use this. So anyway, I'm going to be offering something really great to you guys at the end of this masterclass. 2 things. 1 is the magnetic messaging framework you can download and use. And 2 is a free session with me, the CEO of PitchKitchen. But only a select few get that, but just so you know, that's coming. This is, we're talking about starting with the problem. The problem is opinions when it comes to Gong. Gong, research shows that data is really what customers want to make decisions on, and just making decisions on opinions doesn't work. These are some really great examples of websites. This is the after of ReadyWorks, where the positioning is starting with the problem and how it resonates with people. All right, so if this makes sense to you, number 2, it'll unlock the 3rd of 5. Type in the chat, makes sense. Makes sense. Come on, let me get a make sense from you. If this makes sense, you got to start with the problem instead of your solution. Yes, yes, yes. MS, makes sense. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for participating here, because if I'm talking to a wall and I don't get a sense that you're really getting value from this, I'm out. I get depressed and sad. So thank you so much. I want this to be super valuable to you, because that is who I am, and that is part of my mission in building PitchKitchen. Anyway, number 3, make your customer the hero. Now, I know you've heard this before, but the reality is you don't know how to do this. And I'm saying that with authority, because if you look at your homepage right now, what is your homepage obsessed with? And most homepages are obsessed with themselves. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Bringing clarity to risk. That's who we are. We're Acuity. Oh my gosh, we're bringing clarity to risk. That we're awesome. We're the best thing ever. So they are unfortunately the wicked witch of the West. What's mirror, mirror on the wall? That's Cinderella. I'm getting all the stories confused. But anyway, this was what happened. CEOs are like, yes, let's do that. So make our customers the hero. Marketers say, oh yeah, I can do that. The reality is nobody has an idea of exactly how to do this. Everyone is so confused. So who's the hero on your homepage right now? And if you have words like this, we're disrupting, we're the future of, whatever. We're the future of what were your businesses here? We're the future of infrastructure, or we're the future of professional services firms, or that's positioning your solution as the hero, and these don't work. And from your customer's perspective, your prospect's perspective, when they get that, when they see that, they see your website as Golub on the left instead of an attractive person on the right, who is obsessed with my goals and my problems. So this is what we got to talk about. Make your customer the hero is transforming a website that maybe looks like this, which is making their AI fancy, blah, 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 whatever, looking awesome. But instead of this is the after, where it's like clearly they're making doctors the hero of the story. They're giving them superpowers by bringing this emotional AI to patient encounters. Wonderful, nailed it, versus what was before, which is, oh my gosh, what the hell is this? Selling me something about AI. I don't even know what it does. Anyway, I think you're getting the picture. Here's a bad example. Transforming mental health care delivery. And here's a picture of a head with like wires and, oh my God, awful. So the voice, instead of being we're the best, needs to be how we make you better. And I hope that's clear. If this is clear, type in the comments if this is clear. what you need to do when we're talking about making your customer the hero. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, involving yourself in your customer story of change is really essential. Your voice should sound like the coach, sometimes the angry coach. Doesn't have to be like the cheerleader doing dances on the side. It could be Rafiki slapping Simba upside the head with a stick. That's cool too. All right, you got to be taking that position. And by the way, your salespeople will have that position on the first call when your customer converts from a homepage that takes this position from the copywriting perspective. All right, so at the end of the session, there are 5 sessions I'm going to be offering you folks. If you want to book a free 30-minute, let's say 45-minute messaging and sales enablement assessment, that's going to be offered to certain people here at the end of this webinar. So real quick, Trisha, CEO of BST Perform, had a new product, new board, massive goals, but couldn't differentiate between products out in the market, failing to book new conversations, missing sales targets. After confident about the story and the marketing, winning much bigger deals and much faster. And I'm so proud of what Patricia's doing with the business. And here's my example. Remember we talked about what should stop doing? I think Allison here did something. Stop doing something and start doing something. This is actually used in Patricia's in behavior science technologies marketing, and is really, really effective at calling their people to the change that they need to get into. And after I think Tricia posted this, within 30 minutes, booked a high-level meeting with the COO, and this stuff really works. So make your customer the hero is the 3rd shift. Type in a 3 if this makes sense. Let's get a 3 from you guys, and we're cooking with grease here. Bill, Jacqueline, Daryl, Allison. Who do we got here? Give me a 3. Craig, awesome. All right, number 4, use the secret weapon. So here it is. This is the secret weapon that you need to be using, and it has 3 parts. The first is this game over positioning that shows up in your proposals, it's like the DNA of your messaging, anything that you produce, and it shows up in a 7-page heroic messaging document, which is almost like the Bible that you train ChatGPT on. Oh my gosh, what an idea. And then from that, you can generate everything. It's the North Star of your content. Number 2, heroic homepage revamp with 10 parts, transformation story. And you're going to get this today in the magnetic messaging framework that you're going to download. And number 3, a choose your own adventure sales presentation. Best sales deck ever. And while there's 12 slides, recommended, you only could really use 3 or 4 actually in every conversation that is as the conversations that you need to decide, because it's a choose your own adventure framework. So that's the secret weapon to use these 3 things. So the idea is the heroic message on the website turns your website into a conversion site. Instead of just it being all about your product, it's about helping them get a home run. And there are, if you look at the top 100 B2B sites, they're all doing this. Above the first thing that you see on the homepage, you're seeing these heroic messages encouraging their customer to the promised land and take action to be successful. Goodbye spreadsheets. Hello, connected information. Wonderful. Totally works. This is the magnetic messaging framework. You guys are going to get this at the end. It breaks down a website into the sections that you need to have in order to be successful. Plan section, old way, new way, lead generator, secondary call to action, booking form. And these are some examples of great websites that are using this framework in B2B space. So if you don't have your homepage doing what I call the heavy lifting, your sales conversations will suffer. Every single sales conversation will suffer because you're going to have to spend so much time explaining stuff to your customers. And instead, if you can nail your homepage, not your website, but your homepage, and get a lot of stuff that's on the other pages on your long scrolling homepage. And don't tell me that a homepage is too long, because that's not true. People spend hours scrolling on a single TikTok feed or a Facebook feed. So your homepage can be a long scroll. Look at Apple's homepage. Oh my gosh, it's a mile long. So have your prospects showing up predisposed to buy if you nail your homepage, and it'll have your salespeople framed as the trusted guide, as the trusted coaches. All right, so that's the secret weapon, turning your presentation into a set of conversations. And most slides undermine sales um, because they're not done right. They're done terribly. But slides done right will help you convert sales. So let me just ask you, type in the chat here, how many slides do you need? How many slides do you need? And if you say 0, that's fine. It just means you'll have to do a lot of talking, but slides actually help in framing the demo and framing the sale. How many slides do you need? 3, 4, 2 to 3, absolutely. And it's based on the conversations that you need to have, not telling people, because if your homepage is doing the heavy lifting, you don't need a lot of slides. How many topic conversations you need to close a deal? So I like to say design conversations, not slides. And often a conversation slide could look like this, where you say, first, we're going to talk about some of the challenges that organizations like you have. Then we're going to talk about the solution that we're presenting. And then we're going to talk about how you can implement that. It's a very natural 3-part, choose your own framework. And this totally works. A slide like this that allows you to have a conversation about problems. Totally powerful, totally necessary. Here's another great slide that is a discussion of what outcomes would make the biggest difference for you and your organization. And it's getting feedback. So these are the 12 essential conversations, and this is the fruit of literally doing 3,000 sales presentations that you can screenshot this if you like. You may not need all of these, but you can choose what are the 3 or 4 conversations you need to have in order to close the deal. It's going to come from this list. So these are the conversations. Absolutely need conversation. If you miss one of these conversations, you'll look back and realize that's why you had lost the deal. All right, so this is the secret weapon, game over positioning, heroic homepage revamp, and a choose your own adventure sales presentation. If you have these 3, you are poised to rock it and to crush it and lead your category, attract ideal customers, and grow your business. Last shift that you need to make, we're going to cover this in 3 minutes, and that is to invest in expert help. So here's why you need to invest in expert outside help. Because here you are in the box like Buzz, and what was Buzz's problem? Anyone type in the comments here, what's Buzz's biggest problem in the beginning of that movie? Right? Buzz had a big problem. Reality. Yeah. Getting a reality check, getting an outsider's view. And he got that from Buzz. Oh, sorry, he got that from Woody. He got it from Woody. And so when you're inside the box, it's hard to see how your prospects see you. Now, Masood, the CEO of a company called Trilio, 30 demos to 1 sale. I mean, untenable was the before. Anxious and limited financial runway, actually a matter of months. Afterward, this is their before website. And if you look at this, you're like, what are they selling? Oh my gosh, I have no idea what they're selling. Afterwards, get intelligent recovery. Oh, I get it. They're selling backup and recovery. Okay, I didn't get that from over here. I got that from here. So after this shift on their homepage and their sales deck and their presentations and their marketing and their proposals, tripled at bats, doubled their win rate in 2 months, and new salespeople they just hired are actually closing freaking deals. So excited about what they're doing there. So here's the thing, if you don't hire an outside expert, you're going to struggle to do this alone. Your marketers aren't paid to take an opposing view. They're just going to do what you ask them to do. And they're going to do it. They're going to put fuzzy, happy words on stuff. It's not going to resonate with your ideal customers because it's not going to be problem centric. You're going to go back and forth between good opinions. You won't likely be using proven positioning frameworks. Your solution-driven idea pool instead of a problem-driven idea pool, stuck with inside baseball lingo, and you'll continue to waste money month after month on marketing that doesn't work. All right, so I hope that you guys act on these shifts as these CEOs have. And I like to say, don't hire a marketer, hire a sales enabler, because marketers are paid to do what? Market the hell out of your product. Market. just push it. But they're not really paid to make sure you're converting sales. You're having the right sales conversations, talking about the problem your customers have, which is the only thing they really care about. So these are the things that you need to win. And we're going to share that magnetic messaging framework in a moment. You need to lead an uprising, start with the problem, make your customer the hero in the conversations, use the secret weapon, which is those three elements, the game over narrative, the heroic home run homepage, and a choose your own sales presentation. Invest in expert outside help, and that's what you need. All right. So if you're still here, give me a 1 in the chat if you're here, because this is for you. Daryl, Jacqueline, Bill, Craig, Jeremy, Flavio, Raza. Give me a 1 in the chat if you are here. Come on. Give me a 1 if you're here. Any other bus is here? All right. You have a choice right now. You came to this masterclass because you wanted to get these shifts, and I hope that you act on them. So your choice is you can go it alone and try to do this on your own, or you can get help. That QR code, if you scan it, will book 45 minutes with me. This is what I have for you. If you book this call with me, that QR tab, you should see it as well, a tab on your screen on the offer tab. And what you'll get from this, actually, it's a 45-minute session, is getting clear on the gap between where you are right now with your everything, with your positioning, marketing strategy. Decide what you're going to do about it and get a game plan to getting this done, getting your marketing dialed in, and getting your sales enabled in a big way. So that's what we're going to focus on. I take your time very seriously. This is absolutely free if you qualify. And here's the qualifications. But before I do that, here are the qualifications. Let me get this download for you guys and make sure you can get it. Let's see. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Let's get this handout, share handout. So you should see upper right-hand corner, the handout for download now. That will get you this magnetic messaging framework template for the most highly converting B2B websites. And it is a lot of research went into what this framework should be. And this is the template we use when we're building out the customized frameworks for our customers. So this is, if you qualify, absolutely free. So do not book a call with me, because I'm busy. Not only do I have 4 kids, but I have a small business and I got a lot of customers I need to attend to. So do not book if you do not have a viable product to sell, if you aren't committed to your vision for selling your solution with your team, if you're okay with where you are. Do not book the call with me. I only want to work with folks who want to get to the next level and are committed to it and take their business very seriously. And do not book a call with me if you aren't challenging the status quo in your industry. So I'm not interested in working with folks that just want to sell more minivans that are exactly the same. I'm interested in working with companies and people that are selling innovations. That's just a preference I have. If you can't or won't invest time and money in your business, please do not book a free call with me, because I take my time just as seriously as I would hope that you take your time, and it would be a waste. So here's what would happen if you do not choose to act. Your marketer will continue ineffective marketing. You'll bounce around ideas, a lot of opinions, and not really be clear what to do. Blind spots are there mostly when you don't see it anymore. And it's probably, I'm not sure the last time you looked at your homepage, but you probably don't see the blind spots there. You're probably not using proven positioning frameworks if you recognize that in this discussion today. If you choose not to act, you'll be driven by your product, by your solution, instead of your customer's problem. And you will be stuck on inside baseball talk. So anyway, I don't want you to waste time on demos. I want you to be wildly successful. I want you to get help if you need it. There's the QR code. So let's go to the chat here. And if you were here, tell me which one of these 5 shifts do you feel like you need to make, or can make, or will make? Just give me it in the chat. 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, which one of these will you act on? Which one of these will you act on? Make the customer the hero. Problem identification. Hit it hard since it's real for everyone. Yes. 3, make your customer the hero. But you also see how it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that if you don't know how. So I hope that you got a sense of how you're really going to make your customer the hero and position yourself as the trusted advisor. 4, use the secret weapon. Wonderful. So, I mean, I can play some great testimonials, but I'm not going to do that now. You can get that from PitchKitchen's website. I want to see if you guys have any questions right now about these 5 shifts. Happy to answer them in the last 2 minutes that we have. There's the QR code if you want to book a 45-minute call with me. As you typing in your questions, I want to thank you, Daryl. I want to let you know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I look back on my entire career from starting out as a salesperson and then moving over to marketing because I realized marketing sucks, and realizing that the what really works in marketing is based on the skills that I have developed from design school, from building my own company, and from realizing what works and what doesn't work. So I am really passionate about helping folks like you break through to the next level by applying what I have learned and what I have seen works. So that's why I do what I do, and I hope to really help you guys be successful. That's my purpose, to help you guys, if you're here, be wildly successful with your business. So if you have any questions, type it in the chat. We're going to wrap up in just 1 minute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. I I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. It is the only thing that we have and can never get it back ever. So it is hugely valuable to me, and I take you and your business super seriously, as I hope you do as well. So with that, I want to thank you, thank you. Godspeed. Keep on rocking in the free world, and we will see you guys soon. Cheers. Thank you so much.